So, one of the things I want to talk about today is essentially my problem when it comes to Xbox and next gen gaming. Um, the first thing that's kind of like a positive for the Xbox is, for the most part, if you want it in an Xbox, you can go and get one if you have the money or your finance or whatever. Best Buy still has both Xboxes in stock, at least in my city, and I'm sure other places as well. You can go get an Xbox for a lot easier than you can get a PlayStation. But the problem I want to talk about here is what you can actually do with the system, or what can you actually play with the system. Now, people, despite claiming that the console wars is no longer a thing, it's still a thing. People still fight about the console wars, which one is better, which one has better experiences, and all that kind of stuff. And yes, Xbox is winning in terms of the sales because you can go get an Xbox if you wanted one. But I was looking through my game collection on Xbox and looking through the Microsoft Store and trying to find out what's something new and exciting that I can play. What is like the new next gen experience? And I know we're still not really experiencing the next gen experience because they're still making games for current gen and last gen. And because there's still people out there who hasn't gotten the Series X or the PS5. But I say, where's that next gen experience? I don't want to wait till Gotham Knights, because Gotham Knights, while it's going to be, from what I understand, only on Series and PS5, I don't think that game is going to provide what I want out of a next gen experience. I also don't think that game is actually going to succeed. I do have worries about that game, and I have some thoughts that game, it may not flop, but I don't think it's going to sell as well as they want it to sell. But despite that, I understand, and I've known this from the beginning, like early on. For the most part, you're gonna play the same shit you've been playing on Xbox One, just upgraded graphics, and that's not even the case for everything. Not every game has the upgraded graphics. Red Dead Redemption 2, for example, I don't know if it needs the upgrade because it still looks phenomenal. Like Red Dead 2 looks phenomenal. Um, but could it be a little bit better with the next gen? I don't know. Maybe. Um, Aside from that, there are other games on my Xbox that don't have a next gen Series XS upgrade. Um, so you're still playing the same thing. And even with the games that do have the upgrade, you're still playing the same old games. Like my collection is all previous shit that I already played. Watch Dogs, Devil May Cry 5, Resident Evil Village, um, Red Dead 2. Like I said, I think like the newest thing in my collection that I have is Riders Republic, and it just wasn't for me. I just didn't really care for it. It's not a bad game. It's a fun game. It's just not what I was really into. So what's my point here? Well, I was trying to find some exclusives for the Xbox, brand new exclusives, and I'm not talking Bethesda purchased, by Microsoft exclusives or the Blizzard stuff. I'm talking about brand new, made for the new Xbox, or just made after its release, that you can only play on Xbox, right? And you only have about, from what I looked up a list here, and for the most part, there was only three realistically, which was Forza Horizon 5, which to me was kind of boring because to me it was the same thing as Forza Horizon 3 and 4. It's just that the map is different, a couple new cars added, and differences in the story, minor differences. But to me, like Forza 3 was great because it was like my first Forza game ever, and the soundtrack was fucking awesome. But Forza Horizon 5, Halo Infinite, which was boring. I said in my previous video, or one of my previous videos, I'm not a Halo fan, but I went in and played Halo 1 through 5 to get ready for Infinite. And when I started Infinite, it was kind of fun and exciting. And as I went on, I was like, this is kind of boring. And they made a whole big deal about it being open world, but it was still Halo. So you still have the Halo mechanics that wouldn't be changed. And you threw in some open world things, but it was still, like I was hoping for like places to explore. Like it was very empty, a very empty location where you just have some enemy bases here and there. That was it. It was it was whack. You know, that's my honest truth for Halo Infinite. It was whack, and even to the point where Halo fans don't even, as far as I know, from what I've seen, Halo fans don't really play it anymore anyway because it's whack. You know, Halo Infinite's whack. It was a letdown. It was garbage. You know, and the third one for Xbox exclusives is Flight Simulator, which I've tried it a few times, and it's a flight simulator. Like, I don't have dreams of being a pilot or anything like that. So then I looked at Sony's exclusive list, right? And I don't think this is everything, but it's most of it for the most part. And here you got, whether it's like, you know, pre-installed, you know, the Astro's Playroom thing, or an actual exclusive, you have Astro's Playroom, Deathloop, Demon's Souls, Destruction All-Stars, Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate, and the previous Final Fantasy VII Remake that got, you know, remastered for the next gen. Ghostwire Tokyo, Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Forbidden West, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Returnal, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Sackboy Big Adventure. You have the previous Spider-Man game that was remastered. Last of Us Remaster is coming out next month. God of War is coming out in November. The God Ragnarok coming out in November. So you have essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 exclusives here, plus the first Final Fantasy VII Remake, 13, plus Ghost of Tsushima that got remade or remastered, 14, Last of Us, 15, God of War Ragnarok in November, 16. 16 exclusives minimum by the end of this year. Kenna Bridge of Spirits is another one, 17. Exclusives by the end of this year that you can enjoy on PlayStation 5 if you have a PS5. And that sucks, honestly, because as I said in the previous video, where is that exclusive to Xbox where you're like, I am so happy to own an Xbox so I can play this game and this person can't, or I get to enjoy this experience. Like, I love some of these games on PlayStation, and I still wish I had a PS5 for a few of these games. You know, if you saw my last video, you know why I sold my PS4 and why I no longer have it. But also, I don't want to stay in the last gen. I want to move along with the new gen. So I want to play Spider-Man on the new gen. I want to play God of War Ragnarok. I want to play Gran Turismo 7. I want to try it at least, you know. Returnal. My friend has Returnal. He wants to do co-op, and I want to get it to play co-op with him. I want to try Ratchet and Clank potentially. The Spider-Man sequel comes out next year. And my idea was if I got a PS5, I was gonna use that for exclusives only because I still have my Xbox, and I would play all my other games on Xbox, right? And it's not a bad plan because you hear Microsoft and Xbox saying we're acquiring all these different developers to make all these games. Most of them are indie games that I don't play, and the other ones are mostly first-person shooters. I found a list of 10 upcoming Xbox Series exclusive games. 6 out of those 10 games on that list were first-person shooters. And the remaining 4 was, one of them was Fable, one of them was Everwild, and I don't remember what the other 2 were. And I found out about another game today that I completely missed from the past few months ago, Evil West, that comes out in November, I believe, which is on both, it looks very interesting. They're saying it's like God of War with guns, you know, it looks very interesting. So that's a next-gen experience I'm excited for. But when it comes to, you know, what can I play on my Xbox only, that's not Bethesda, that's not Blizzard, that's not a first-person shooter, what is there? You know, I had this thought of like, you know, if they want to continue with the exclusives for consoles, what if Microsoft acquired Warner Brothers or something, right? And they got the Batman games exclusively to them. Because, you know, Sony got Spider-Man, Warner Brothers can have Batman, right? Cool. Or if they did a whole, like, Marvel on Sony and DC on Xbox, like, you know, because Sony they're getting Wolverine from Insomniac. And I think Insomniac has been doing such a great job with the Marvel games so far, being the 2 Spider-Man games, that if Wolverine does succeed, just give Insomniac the Marvel games. And I understand people saying, oh, well, if you don't have an Xbox, you can't play the DC games, which for the most part, it's just Batman and that stupid Suicide Squad game coming out. Oh, and Wonder Woman is releasing in the near future. I would hate to keep that away from other players. I love Wonder Woman. One of my favorite, superheroes. I don't know if you can tell, but right behind me on the top shelf on the left, there's a Wonder Woman statue and then a Wonder Woman pop figure in front of her. So yeah, I like Wonder Woman, but regardless, my point here is that any exclusive that Microsoft Xbox has that's not brand new, like Halo Infinite and Forza, all those Bethesda ones, you can still get a copy physically and probably even digitally. You can still get a copy for PlayStation. I still got Skyrim on my Switch. I'm sure I can find a Bethesda game physically for PlayStation and, backwards compatible, whatever. So yes, future games from these developers may be exclusive. I think Starfield is confirmed exclusive for Xbox, but I never cared about Starfield, unlike everyone else who's a fan of Bethesda, who have been, I guess, lack of a better term, they've been creaming themselves over Starfield. Even to when we finally got the gameplay, it was lame to me. It didn't seem impressive. It was more like an upgraded No Man's Sky, and a lot of people made that comparison. It looks kind of like No Man's Sky with a couple of Doom mechanics, possibly. It's not interesting to me, and it's still first person. So if Xbox wants to be the first person exclusive thing, by all means, run with it. If that's what you want to be known as, run with it. But like I said, there's really nothing out there on Xbox that's like, jumping out to me like, oh my god, I can't wait to play this game. Not only that, because yeah, gaming is a big part, but also if you look at the UI for both consoles, I really don't like the Xbox UI. Like I have a really cool wallpaper behind on my Xbox from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and you can't even see it because of all the fucking tiles that's in the way. That UI is like a Windows 8 type of theme, and that needs to go. Like I should be able to customize it to how I want it. Maybe only show, if you're gonna give me options to customize, let me customize my UI so I can see my damn wallpaper, so I can have like, here's my list of games, here's my option that goes to all my games. That's all I need. Or also throw in the store somewhere. You can't even see the freaking wallpaper. And then on the PlayStation Store, if you look on that store, I have a friend who sent me a picture because he has a PS5. There is a section that you can search that's like PS5 only, PS4 only, and only on PlayStation, the exclusives only, So it will show you all the exclusives on PlayStation you can play. Xbox does not have that. There is no only on Xbox option. There's a Game Pass option, but those games are not all exclusive, just like there's a PS Plus option on the PlayStation 5. So that's kind of like my main problems here, is that I can't play anything that's exciting or brand new, for the Xbox. Yes, newer games are coming out. We haven't really seen a major AAA release recently. I know Madden just got released, but I'm not a Madden fan. Saints Row just got released, and I'm not really a Saints Row fan, and I don't need to explain more of why I'm not buying Saints Row. Like, I really don't. Just go on YouTube and you'll know why. Gotham Knights is like the next big release, and I'll try it. I'll play it for the channel, or something. But if I look at my collection right now, Riders Republic is the only thing new, and I guess Far Cry 6, which to me, it's Far Cry. I only got it because it was like $10 on sale, so I bought it for $10. So it's not really a big loss at all. And that's about it. I guess Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because that was like a launch title, but it wasn't a launch exclusive. And I haven't tried it yet because I want to beat Odyssey before I try Valhalla. Because I have a feeling that, from what I've seen of how Valhalla looks, if I start Valhalla, I'm not going back to Odyssey. That's how I feel. So I want to beat Odyssey, which I just got to get back into it and actually do it. But also, the exclusives. I don't really care about Doom. I don't care about Halo. Like I said, I only played it to get caught up with the story. and I did play co-op with some friends. Halo 2 was my favorite one so far that I played. Just I had the most fun with Halo 2. Um, Other than that, everything else is either a remaster or a remake, or you're just playing an old game that got an next gen upgrade. WWE 2K22 was like a new experience for me, in terms of like a new game that released. Um, I do have a lot of fun with it. I am a wrestling fan, not a huge wrestling fan like I used to be, but I am a wrestling fan, and I do have a lot of fun with that game. Plus, the visuals of that game is pretty damn impressive for wrestling. So I just I think that Xbox has the resources to make these amazing exclusives. Something that can rival the Spider-Man game, something that can rival God of War. But it's not going to be Halo. It's not going to be Doom. It's not going to be Gears of War. All three are shooters. Give us something incredible. If a Plague Tale was exclusive, that would be a good exclusive because I played the first one recently and I had some fun with it, and I'm excited for the second one. What's the other one? Hellblade. I haven't tried the previous one. I can try it. I know the first one wasn't exclusive, but I think the second one is exclusive to Xbox finally. So I don't know when that's coming out. I don't think it's anytime soon, but I'll probably try the first one, see how it is, and I hear great things about it. I wasn't interested in it initially, but at this point, because of my boredom, and if you have seen my recent videos, I've been home because of COVID. But I am ready to go back. I'm ready to go back to work, like hopefully by this week. So we'll see how that goes. My company has certain procedures I have to follow to go to work, but maybe I'll try Hellblade. I heard it's not a super long experience, so I'll at least give it a shot. See if I was wrong. But other than that, what else am I gonna play? I deleted Forza 5 from my Xbox. I just have no interest in playing that anymore because it was boring to me, and it was just taking up space. Other than that, I have Mortal Kombat 11 on my Xbox, and an older game, and that's over like 100 gigabytes as well. I might delete Warzone because that one is also like over 100 gigabytes, and I don't play it anymore. Personal reasons why I don't play it. Nothing with the game. I actually love Warzone. If I have to play a battle royale, it's Warzone. I don't like the other ones. I tried Fortnite. I hate Apex. Fuck PUBG. The PUBG is just dog shit. I actually do enjoy Warzone. I don't play it anymore, and I probably won't play it anytime soon for other personal reasons. But yeah, I don't know what's out there that's like, hey, you want to get an Xbox for this, I only got the Xbox because I had a Series S and I wanted to get something with more storage and more power because I was playing different games with my friends online, and I couldn't get a PlayStation. They were none in stock, and I think if I had waited and saved the money, I would have PS5 by now. But I might get one soon. I'm working on a couple things to try to get one soon, and then I can finally have some fun because I'm bored out of my mind playing these old games. Like I'll put in like Resident Evil Village, or I'll put in Red Dead 2, and I'll play for like 15, 20 minutes or so, do a whole like mission in Red Dead, and I'm just like, all right, I've done this already. Let me, give me something new, something brand new and exciting. So that's my initial problems with the Xbox is the no exclusives, the UI that you can't customize, the store doesn't really have any options for like exclusives only. I do like that I can take different things on my Xbox store that I purchase, and I can, instead of paying for it with my card, I can add it to my Verizon phone bill, and I'll just pay for it with my monthly bill at the end of the month. That I actually do like. That has saved me a few times from having to spend money on a game, and I could just put it on the bill and then add it to my bill later on. I do actually appreciate that. I even added Game Pass a couple times to my bill, and just added to which they should just make that a feature of Verizon. Hey, get Game Pass added to your bill every month. Side note, it's not really related, but when I had an Android phone, I could add my YouTube Premium to my Verizon bill monthly, and I'll just pay for it monthly. With an iPhone, number one, it costs more than it did on Android. Android was like $10 or so on iPhone, I have to pay $15 a month for the YouTube Premium, and I can't bill it to my Verizon because Apple wants to do it on themselves. And you know, YouTube is owned by Google and Android is owned by Google, whatever. But a little side note that sucks. I got to pay for it monthly now and not add it to my bill, but that's the way it is. But I can at least add games and DLC to my Verizon bill from the Xbox, so that's pretty cool. I don't know if Sony has that feature. If not, no big deal. But hey, that's the way it is, right? But I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope I gave you something to think about. You know, if you don't have any of the two consoles and you don't know which one to get, I'm not going to talk about performance-wise, which is better. For the most part, they're going to do the same shit. There's this whole argument about Xbox is stronger because it has more teraflops and this and that. They're both going to do mostly the same shit either way. 120 frames per second, ray tracing, all that shit. I think if you want to play games and have the exclusive experiences, you're better off for the PlayStation if you can get one. If you can hold off on buying a console till the PlayStation is available, they're available now in the PlayStation Store with the Horizon Forbidden West bundle. But you know, if you get a PlayStation, my recommendation is if you want to play a lot of games and have fun, PlayStation is probably the better bet because you not only do you have those exclusives I mentioned, like 14 exclusives, you still have all the third-party games as well. You can still play Gotham Knights, you can still play Hogwarts Legacy, you can still play Far Cry and Red Dead and all of the shit on your PlayStation. So, you know, my plan is PlayStation will be for the exclusives only, Xbox will be for the third party, because until I see exclusives from Xbox, they don't have exclusives in my opinion, in my mind. They don't have exclusives. All the Bethesda shit, you can still pick them up on other consoles if you can find a copy, which you probably still can. Aside from that, they don't have exclusives. If you disagree and you have no real evidence to back it up, you can just eat a bag of dicks, honestly, because you can't disagree. You just can't. Look on their store, look online. Nothing is released as of today that's exclusive to Xbox except for the ones I already mentioned and all those purchases from Bethesda and Blizzard and all that shit. But yeah, like I said, that's my video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed my opinions, and I hope I gave you something to think about. And I will see you guys on the next one.